the people know that this is a subject that I enjoy getting into a lot, but all we really need to know is that back in the late 60s, man went to the moon, and we nailed it. First time we tried landing on it, we nailed it. We nailed it a couple more times, and we never did it again for 50 years, and now we don't have the technology, according to NASA, but we're working really hard on it, and they just tried launching, we talked about last week, Artemis 1 was their first test, and then they had to cancel that and rescheduled it for Saturday, and then on Saturday, of course, we made it to the moon. Just kidding. No, NASA calls off second launch retry for Artemis moon rocket. Wouldn't you know it? Could delay mission for weeks. We don't know. It's just maybe one day we'll figure out how to pull off something that we pulled off 50 years ago with the technology of a calculator. Any thoughts, Matt?
Well, I mean, I had always been under the impression. I think you guys talked about this last week. I always thought, oh, we went to the moon a long time ago, so I'm sure there's just like guys going up there like ever so often, just to like
You
drop
would
by
think
and
that,
get some
wouldn't
more
you?
samples. Like if we made it there in the '60s, then it should be really really easy to just shoot some guy up there nowadays, like it's nothing.
Right.
But I guess not. And maybe this, I don't know, what's Russia doing these days? Are they trying to send people to the moon? Maybe we're trying to revive this whole like the Cold War spirit is back in
No, we were
action.
racing Russia. We were racing China. And then as soon as we got there, they all just said, no, we're good. Never mind. Scrap it. Never. We're not going to go ever. We're the only country that's ever
I think
gone,
they,
allegedly.
yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe they were just trying to dupe us into wasting a bunch of time and energy and resources on going up there.
Yeah. Well, they succeeded, and they're still succeeding because they're still failing. And I suspect that if they ever get this 2022 technology off the ground that should be a million times advanced. It shouldn't even remotely resemble the technology of the 60s, but here we are, and we still can't get it to work as well as it did back then. But despite the fact that it's failing and failing, and my guess, my prediction, if I had to make one, I don't know, I don't have any evidence to back this up, but if I had to predict what they might do with this, they're going to keep failing, and then they're going to be like, all right, we're going to send somebody up. They send somebody up or some people up, and then it blows up mysteriously, and then it sets us back 20, 30, 40, 50 years, and we better not, better not go there again, because that was dangerous all of a sudden.
Well, they would probably blame that on Russia too.
Oh, yeah, of course. Or Trump. It would be Trump's fault.
Yeah, Trump.
Yep. And you're frozen. Now, oh, you're back. What'd you say?
I didn't say anything.
Okay. You froze in the middle of Trump. I don't know if there was something after that. But regardless of whether or not they can actually achieve this, they will continue to pretend very hard that they can, because this is what NASA's base camp on the moon could look like, if we ever were able to get it off the ground. So we're just going to play pretend here and show some pretty pictures of what it might look like, because this is how science works. Maybe someday we'll do this. Hey, look, it looks less real than 2001: A Space Odyssey, which came out right before the moon landing. And yeah, just this is what we're doing. We're just talking about what might be. And I also like that we are talking about what it might look like when we set up a Mars base as well. Like one step at a time, folks, baby steps. Maybe let's get a man to the moon again before we start talking about going infinitely farther. I don't know.
I'm surprised we don't see like some pride flags on there and some like very diverse and equitable arrangement of astronauts who are up there.
Well, I mean, the whole point of Artemis, the whole project, right in their tag on Twitter is like, we're going to put the first trans woman of color on the moon. Like, that is their whole objective, it would seem. That is absolutely, well, not, I don't think it's trans, but first woman and first woman of color or something like that. But yes, identity politicsing in their tag for Twitter is a great first showing in me taking you seriously. Now, we did play, I think it might have been in the bonus episode a couple weeks ago, we played the sound of black holes, which turned out to just be, I don't know, demons, or either that, or maybe it was like a microkorg or something. But they say that there's no sound in space unless they feel like showing you what a black hole sounds like. That one didn't get very many people all that jazzed up because it was kind of horrifying and haunting. But so they decided to release their latest single, which is called Cosmic Cliffs, which is another song that NASA has released. And here's that for you. That's what cliffs sound like. And God only knows what kind of brainwashing they have installed into this thing, but NASA says these soothing sounds depict the cosmic cliffs of the Carina Nebula by translating data to sound, which is a thing. We can experience NASA, the Webb, whatever, telescope thing, data in a new way. Also explore views of Southern Ring Nebula and hear exoplanet, whatever, who cares? So they're saying that this is a translation of data from cliffs into sounds. And I don't know. Do you know how that works?
Well, I mean, I imagine that they must be doing some kind of psychedelic drugs over there at NASA to be pulling this kind of thing off. I mean,
they're taking all of our tax dollars and just like getting completely baked and playing with synthesizers, and they're like, let's tell them this was cliffs. That'll be great. Yeah, that one sounds scary. Let's say that's black holes. Sure, we have literally nothing else to do because we can't go to space.
I'll make questionable decisions. I'll be in fact of all I saw.